Okay, hey, yo, what's up? This is gonna be an actual full mixing session, so you're gonna see essentially everything that I do when it comes to mixing. So yeah, I believe I have another video on this, but just so you can just uh, my process isn't really the same each time, so yeah, I'll just explain as I go. So I basically just start from the top, from this kind of like over here. So yeah, if this is your first time seeing this and you want to go see the other videos on how I produce this song, we will give it a listen at the end of the video. But what's the word? Yeah, if you want to see how I made the song, I guess I'll make a playlist on it if there's enough interest. So yeah, let's just get started. So let's just start with this bass pad thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. I usually do this step before I even start. So let's go over here. Okay, so I just like to get the levels good, like where I want them before I even start. So I'm liking that. So just kind of bring this in. Okay, so let's get started. The reason why, hopefully it's not too quiet. Wait, maybe I'll just do this. Okay, just so. Oh, it's still going. I'll just kind of boost the volume on there just so you can hear everything. So I'm hoping that it's not too quiet. Well, whatever. You'll hear it by the end. So basically, I think the more important thing is seeing how I do it. So here's this part. So I'll start with this pad here. I kind of already started. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Let me just. So right here. And so the goal here to basically what we're doing when we EQ is we're not really changing the sound. You know what I mean? We want to bring the best out in each track. So we're not going to do stuff and go like this, or go like this, or cut major stuff out. We want to take the sound and just kind of bend it to where we like it. You know what I mean? So unless you're unless you're trying to achieve some sort of sound that requires you to just do insane stuff like that, then I would say just go for it. But in this case, when we're mixing like this, we're just kind of cutting the highs off like this, right? See, look, right now we're cutting it too much. So we'll just bring it back even more. And so the sound that I want to achieve, also too, I would just cut rate to 30 hertz, because 30 hertz, there's no point of having 30 hertz and below, because the human ear can't even hear that. You can only feel it. So there's really no point in keeping that in there. So for this particular sound, I actually want to get this kind of edge right here. It's kind of like this, but not too much. Again, we're just kind of trying to bring clarity to everything. And we also have like this kick here that's going to be playing. That's kind of like right here. Okay. And this is resonating right around here. So I just kind of switch it up here. So maybe 77 hertz. So let's kind of go around that area, like right here. And then we're just going to cut. Yeah, we're just gonna cut that just so it doesn't really interfere too much with that kick. Okay. And then what I also want to do, well, we're kind of already like side chaining this, so you'll see it. Yeah. So really, unless you're really trying to achieve something, I could actually go in with a compressor, right? So don't share, kind of like this. Because if you go in with a compressor while there's a sidechain on, you're gonna kind of defeat the purpose of the sidechain, because you're just gonna be compressing it anyway. You know what I mean? So it's already being compressed. So I really, in this sense, don't see a reason to essentially compress it. So that's just my thoughts. Maybe somebody else will have a different. I don't know, but there's one thing I do want to do to this, and I just want the overall stereo image of this to surround everything. You see, everything's more so down the middle. So we're just gonna, yeah, see how everything widened there. And what do we want to do? Let's bring it up to probably 1.5 decibels, so we can hear it. Okay. Well, when you're mixing like this, I wouldn't recommend boosting over like 3 dBs, because if you go more than that, it's really easy to what's the word? It's really easy to make different tracks louder than others, and then before you know it, you're kind of clipping. So just 1 dB. You know, once you start mixing, you'll notice that once you start to separate everything, you will be able to hear things. So this is the other reason why we have this too. Let's put a heavier sidechain on there, because these are the same frequencies as this kick over here. Right. So let's just boost this actually. Maybe about there. 21.5. I know I went over what I was saying before, but so let's. Okay, that's the other thing you gotta do, is just kind of constantly just see how it sounds. So I like. Let's go like right here. Let's also do this. And the reason why we're kind of boosting this right here is just because we're already side chaining it, and we just want it kind of to peek through as the side chain comes up in between here. So yeah. So let's just see how that sounds. Wanted to know what was good. Saw you across the room. And when it comes to vocals, I usually do those last. I'll show you what I do with those. So we want these at about. Well, let's go right here. Well, when it comes to these, I don't really do too much. You know, I know this already has like a threshold and all this other stuff, so I don't see a point unless, you know, just lower the attack. Right. See, I like it with more how do you say it again? When the meter's going down further. So yeah, we got that. You know, we're gonna do the traditional, you know, kind of cut right here, and we want it to just poke through just a little, so we're just gonna do that. Kind of pan it to the right there a little bit. So let's see how that sounds. And by panning it, you're actually giving it its own little space within the mix. So it's really good to pan things. And then just put a little bit of a... Yeah, just a little bit of a reverb there. So let's move forward a little bit. We don't really have anything too crazy right up until the hook here. Again, this is just a practice track, so, you know, we won't deal with this bass up until we get to the drop, so we'll just leave that there. We do have this, though. Actually, we won't deal with that either. And what is this again? Oh, yeah, that's a lead. Yeah, we won't deal with these until we get there. So we got this. What else do we got? We got this. So let's deal with this. Let's bring it up like maybe to 15.6. Again, a little bit more than a tiny bit more than a decibel up. We're just going to do this. Cut all the lows and highs. Again, I want this on the sides. It's going to boost this up a little bit. So again, when I tend to use these, I tend to don't pan. So like in terms of like for this and that pad that I used this on earlier, I won't pan things. So like I asked that question too. So in terms of like the kick, do I pan the kick or do I pan the snare and stuff like that? I don't. See like the bass. See like the bass and the lead. I will not pan them. Right? I won't pan the lead. I won't pan the bass. But what I will pan is, you'll see when I do it later, I will pan these backup things. Like I'll do stuff like that. So I'll show you in a bit. So I kind of like this. So it's a perfect everything on there. There's no point in... it looks like we're not going to be using too much compression. Maybe on right here, just to tame all those high end or those sharp dynamic stuff. Yeah, because everything uses sidechain. So let's just do this quick. I may just, after I just finished telling you that, alright, just a tiny bit. Because I just want, like, these top things just to be evened out, you know what I mean? Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, see right here, I'm trying to achieve something, and I'm not really taking away from the sidechain. So those are kind of some of the things that you got to think about when you're mixing. So let's see how it sounds now. Okay, so I like that. And this is a little bit different than the actual snares here, so we'll just mix this on its own. So this covers quite a bit of frequencies there, so... let's just kind of do this. And that's a perfect example of frequencies that we essentially don't need. See all this stuff that was playing here? When I cut it, you can barely even tell that it was even there. So that's how you know, those are frequencies that we really didn't need. Let's try on the top end too. So we'll just keep that there. And I think this will be more of a mono track, but yeah, we'll just kind of give it its own space in the mix. So let's see how that sounds. Let's see if I like it. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that it's on the left side there. It's a little something different, you know. But once everything else comes in, I'm gonna keep it on the sides. Actually, no. Let's just keep it here, you know, because with this stuff right here, we got this on the sides, right? So actually, let's just put this fully to the sides. Actually, see, we got this on the sides, and then we also got this on the sides. The whole mix is basically being surrounded by, you know, all this frequencies and stuff like that. So yeah. So that was a little bit too high. So let's kind of lower that. Let's do this. Okay. So we got this, we got this. Let's just do this last thing right here. So we'll just solo this. Let's just see where it starts out. See, these kind of things like white noise, I really don't do anything too much to it. And also too, when you're kind of you'll see a lot of different artists doing different stuff. So like if I were to like tell you like this is what I do, like I tend to use ozone imager to push things to the side a lot. You'll see me do that a lot, but that's not really what everybody does. That's just what I do. Right? So but you don't really have to do that. You know, once you start copying me and doing the stuff that I do, you'll find that you like different things. Like you'll have different kind of like preferences and sound that you want, that you know. You know, maybe you'll want to just put this to the side, maybe, but I just like putting things to the side. Ozone imager. Let's just see how this sounds. Okay, maybe not as crazy as that. Okay, so yeah, we'll just keep it at that. So next is these leads. So I don't know if you noticed, but so this right here, we're gonna throw this to the sides. Okay. So what we're gonna do, right, is we're just going to let me see here. Just to bring out all this smooth operator. Just to make it sound a bit more crispy, I'm gonna use this. You know, you could use this specific plugin to essentially what's the word? To sidechain. But I just don't use it for that, for some odd reason. So essentially this is, what would you say, dynamic compressor? So this is essentially compressing this. I'm compressing it in this image and I'm bringing these frequencies more up. To make it more, how would I say it? Bring more clarity. We're also going to EQ this. See right there, I kind of opened everything up. You know what I mean? I'm not really doing too much. See when I take this away. And I kind of opened up. It kind of felt like I opened up the everything. You know what I mean? So we got the smooth operator. We got that on there. And for this, we're just gonna go like this as well. Oh no, this is the main sound. Wait, actually, let's see what happens. So I actually might. Oh, what the hell? Okay, let's just take this off. I might do this inside of this track. I'm just gonna do this because this is a background sound. The sound is back there, so it's gonna go to the sides, and then this one will go 22 that way. So when we hear it, and then with this. So yeah, it's very thick now. So let's move on to this now. So I'm just double checking that we got everything that I want. Looks like everything is good in that end. So this we're actually going to keep in the middle. So I'll show you. Okay, so we're just going to kind of go like this. Maybe we'll just crank this a little bit more. And we're also going to do transfer smooth operator. Alright. Just kind of go like this. So I'm really liking that sound. So let's just keep rolling with it. I think a cool thing too to do. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I'll kind of show you. I'll show you after I do this one thing. Tiny bit. I don't know. I don't know about sausage fattener in this sense. I'm trying to think of anything else that we may need in terms of just. We don't really need compressor. It's being heavily compressed by the sidechain already, so I feel like we don't really need it. Actually, maybe just to I may, because this is like a main sound, just kind of crisp it up a little. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, you can see right here. See these little dips, like these sharp tones. We just want to clean those up. So yeah, I know that I said that I kind of don't like compressing things in a sense to where you're kind of gonna ruin the sidechain, but in this sense, like what I was talking about earlier, I kind of wanted to clean up those sharp tones. So it kind of was a little bit, because it's a lead sound. I wanted to just clean up those sharp tones that you see there, or those dynamics, as some people would say. The last thing I want to do is I want to actually just EQ this, right? So not doing too much to it because we don't want to ruin the sound. Maybe we'll just kind of do this. Maybe we'll thicken it up over here. See, it's nice and thick now. right? And we didn't do a lot to it. And the other crazy thing that I like to do, and it's kind of a cool effect. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put an EQ on this, right? So let's we could actually, because it's the exact same sound, you could actually just drag this EQ over here, right? So the other thing that I like to do is I like to put heavy. I'll bust this, and then I'll put heavy, super heavy, what would you call it? Reverb, yeah, reverb. So just turn it down just a bit. I just remember we're actually gonna want it high. So we're actually going to put this on the bus. So I believe we want the bass one. So I think. So wait, instrument 2. I probably shouldn't have named these bass. So let's name this first one quick. Wait. So let's just go back in here and just find where it is. Lead right there. Okay. So what I did is I'm just sidechaining this. So I'm sidechaining it. So the reverb. So the sound of the reverb is actually ducking to the instrument here, right? And so when it plays, it's there, but it's not really there. But it creates a good effect when the drop finishes, right? And it's over here. And you know how it just keeps going? Yeah. So it doesn't really interfere with the mix too much. And then we're just also going to create another sidechain, and we're also going to sidechain it to the kick. This is just something that I always do. We do not want to interfere with that kick. So and then it's done, and you can hear that reverb. So that's exactly what we want. Let's hear how it sounds with everything else. So compared to the other instruments, the lead is very loud, and as you can see, the drums sound very boring, but we'll get to that in a bit. So we have now our bass. So the thing with the bass is that we need it nice and thick. So for this, I usually EQ first. And because the kick is going to have a essentially the same frequencies as the bass, we're gonna boost this just a tiny bit, right? But we also want to boost over here. Because you may not know, people tend to want to do this when they're working with bass, but really no. This is the frequency that you're going to be working with the bass. So, or here, if you want to make it sound more punchier, you could actually do this, right? Maybe I'll do that because that sounded kind of cool. So yeah, that's how I basically EQ things. Nothing like crazy or drastic. Nothing that'll just blow your eardrum, but it's kind of useful. You know what I mean? So the next thing that we're gonna do, we're actually gonna do this a little bit. Just so we can hear those high-end stuff, right? So I'm liking that. And the number one thing that we like to add is OTT. If you don't have OTT, go get OTT. The other thing that I tend to use quite a bit is we'll use where is it? Sausage fattener. Let's use a bit of sausage fattener. I use this to shape the tone more so. You see? It kind of gives it a different tone and I really like that. Let's see how that sounds so far. And the track is already starting to sound a lot fuller. And then let's just drop this down to like 7.4. And the other thing that we're also going to do, what was it I was going to do? Oh yeah, the compressor. Because in this sense, let's just see how it looks. I may not use a compressor. Yeah, maybe let's just even out those dips a little bit. Actually, maybe we'll just do this. We'll even this out first. That's also another technique you can do. You can just shut off the sidechain and then turn it back on. So I'm liking that. And then I also have like this sort of it's what do you call it, parallel compressed kind of a thing, just to make it sound thicker. And it's just I just compress the hell out of it. And this is just to create thickness. Let's do that. I kind of like the sound of that. We'll also just a tiny bit of sausage fattener. We don't want this to overpower. That's the one thing we don't want. I kind of like this. So let's see how it sounds with this. Let me just hear this again. Are these different notes? Wait. Oh yeah, no, we might have to get rid of this. Okay, so okay, we'll just mute this for now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a different side parallel compression, and we're just gonna do this, and we're just gonna heavily compress it. Okay. Right. And then I'm liking that. We're also going to EQ it a bit, so okay. And we're also we have like little things here, so Wait, how come that doesn't line up with this? Wait. Well, let's kind of do that. Oh no, I see what I was doing there. Okay. So yeah, no, we'll just leave it. There was a reason why I did it, and I remembered it. So let's just go back. Just essentially what we're gonna do. We're just gonna EQ this. Let me just see, because it still doesn't sound right as I'm listening to it. Reverse. Oh, okay, yeah. Reverse. Okay, yeah, I know it's good. So let's just EQ this a bit. Maybe we'll give it a bit of room to breathe. And then, in terms of compressing, we'll see where the levels are for it. Let's see where the other one is. Yeah, there's tiny peaks there, but nothing too crazy, so we'll just... Yeah. And then maybe we'll just put a little bit of... Tiny bit of OTD, just tiny, like 8%. And we're also going to... We're just gonna... what do you call it again? Tiny bit of reverb. I do have some sort of thing not to put reverb on a bass, but in this instance we are. Just not too much though. And then also too, let's put it to the sides because this is more of an effect rather than part of the actual instrument, in my opinion. So where is it? Oh, it's here. Ozone 2. Okay. Instead of having it down the middle. So that's kind of a cool effect. Okay, so that's that. I believe we already went into this. And for the second one, we'll get to it when we get there. But so I actually don't really do too much to my kicks. I may just boost it to 20 because we want it nice and loud. This one, kind of the same thing. Maybe just a bit quieter or a tiny bit louder, right? And then this is where the kick is. I mean the sub. Wait, okay, yeah. The sub's already good. Okay. So let's just hear that. Actually, it could be a bit louder. Let's see how that sounds. And the other thing that we can do is we're just going to create a drum bus. So it'll be bus 11. I'll do that later when we connect. I usually do the kicks. I usually leave alone, but let's just go into the snare. So let's just turn that up to like 25 or something. So I'm liking that. So basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut that part off. Let's open this up a bit. Go like this. Move on to the next one. Actually, I forgot. Let's just tame some of those higher frequent dynamics. Those sharp tones. See? So we're just going to do that. And because it's a very short instrument, transients, short transients, that's the word I was looking for, short transient. Kind of a bit of a higher ratio and a smaller release and attack. So just kind of taming that a bit. Don't really do too much. I usually keep it simple. So on to the next. Just a tiny bit, nothing too crazy. Tame these transients. Yeah, see, look, we got different levels. Remember, shorter. Tame those a bit, so just so they're not so harsh. So this is one of our thicker mainer sounds, so we're just gonna go like this. We're just gonna see what we like. So that kind of opened everything up. Let's bring in the Q now. There's no specific way I'm doing this either. It's just what I like, what I prefer. So, let's just see how these are doing. And again, we're not compressing very heavily. We don't want to compress too heavily. Get rid of this, clean all this up. We'll just do that. I kind of like the sound of that. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too little, but it brings a lot of clarity to it. So let's just see how these transients are. Oh yeah, definitely have to do something. Just to bring these, just so to me, the transients are what, you may not hear it now, but if you kind of tame these and you have a bunch of these sharp transients, I find when you go back to listen to your track in the car or something, you just hear them, you know what I mean? And it's very ear piercing. And to the listener, they can hear that. So, oh yeah, we already did this, right? Or do I have a different one? Oh yeah, a different one. Okay, so this is a little bit different. Let's just up this. I already EQ'd it. It looks like it. We'll just leave that like that. Looks like I already did stuff to that. So this we're just going to EQ. And then we're just going to go like this. Okay, I'm liking that. Well, we're definitely for this. We're gonna use. We have to use for percussion like this. See all the different transients. See. So let's just contain these a little bit shorter. Remember shorter. So I'm liking this. Boost this up. So nothing too crazy, right? Nothing too crazy. We're gonna move on to this. And we're just gonna go like this. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's just move on to this. Shorter. Higher, a little bit of higher. A little bit of makeup. So let's just do that. Let's move on to this thing here that I got. Kind of like that. I kind of like to do stuff like that. And since we're just working with this. Compressor. Bring this release, attack and release, bring it all the way down, right? Okay, see this. We're kind of evening out everything now, so I like that. Let's just see what this sounds like. Let's just get rid of these noises we don't need. I like that. I like that it's adding like a little bit of timbre to it. It's a tiny bit, nothing. We're not gonna, just like this. Let's just do this. So I'm liking the sound of that. It looks like I didn't pan these anywhere, but I would actually like to do some cool with this. So let's just we're just gonna add a little bit of ozone. If you don't have ozone, you can actually just go right here. What is it again? Imaging. You go to imaging, stereo spread. It's the exact same thing. Trust me. So, I'm kind of liking that. I'm very liking it. We'll keep that down the center there. Actually, no, just to create a little bit of, right? And so there's another cool trick that I'll show you quick. And just because I want more variety, right? So what we're going to do, right, is we're just going to duplicate this. Usually I don't do this in the middle of a track, but I'm just thinking of this now. So, right after this, right after it, okay, what we're going to do, so we have this, right? Oh, wait, let me see here. Where did I have it? Kind of a little bit right there. So we're just maybe like right here. Okay. But what we're going to do is something crazy. We're just going to go like this. Okay. Maybe something like this. Okay. It sounds weird, I know, but, and we're just going to leave it there. We're just going to go all the way this way. Right? Oh, shoot. We lost it. Okay. We're just going to leave it like that. It's just something little. It sounds useless, but trust me. Okay. We're just going to leave that there. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah, these discos. Definitely going to use that on here. So let's just see. Adding a little bit of thickness to it, but by putting in that lower frequencies. Right. Again, ozone imager. We're just gonna use ozone imager. Alright, ozone imager. It's a great tool. Okay, so now that we've, mixed everything when it comes to our percussions, let's just see how it all sounds together. Right. It's quite a bit, but trust me, it's going to sound cool. Right, it's groovy. It's very groovy. There could be a little bit more thickness. It's very groovy. It's very groovy. I like adding that grooviness to these kind of like hard-hitting tracks, so it creates a lot of rhythm. And just to make this more exciting, so what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these tracks from the kick all the way to, I guess, here? Oh no, sorry, I selected the wrong track. I guess all the way down here, including this, down here. So we're just going to do that. And we're just going to, oh, sorry, it was bus. Okay, bus 11. And what we're going to do is, the main thing with these, when you have like a bus track, or for myself at least, I actually like to put in, what do you call it again? Saturator. That's what you call it. Or in some cases, exciter maybe. So we're just going to see how this sounds. Right. Oh, we actually want to solo everything. Oh, shoot, wait. We just want it warm. Wait, what? Okay. Maybe around there. And what else we want to do is, what is it? Wait, I can't think with all this noise. Just a tiny bit of reverb. Okay, tiny bit. I mean tiny. It sounds kind of useless, but just trust me. The other thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna do this. Drums, right? Drums. Let's just solo the bass. Right. So right now, oh, sorry. So this is our bus track, right? So we're just gonna keep it right there, right about there. We want these drums a bit powerful, right? So we're just gonna put a bit of pressure, just a tiny bit of glue, width, right? Right. You don't want too much air. Right. So let's just see how it sounds with everything. Right, it's nice and thick, exciting, and everything is going pretty good. So let's see how it sounds. I kind of just want to bring this up just a little bit. Let me just see here. Where is it again? Just a little bit of sausage fattener. Change the tone a bit and just. Yeah, see, there's lots going on. I think the one thing that I had a problem with is oh, why is that closed? Wait. Wait, what is that I'm hearing? Well, we're just gonna go like this now, so yes, everything's already there. For this one, it's just so tiny and minor. I mean, we could. Let's just. Right. Nothing too crazy. We're not even gonna compress that. This we're gonna have to compress, right? Live. Okay, a little bit shorter. Bring this down a whole lot. So that is sounding amazing. For this stuff here. Just a bit louder. And then for this, we're also just gonna literally like that. Just a tiny bit. And same with this. We gotta do the crash as well. We can't forget about the crash. Right. Bring it up a little bit. Never forget these little things too. Right. It creates for a harder drop, so now listen to it. Right. So let's see how it sounds now. See, and the song is sounding a lot more fuller, so. And I just noticed that this is should be over here. And then this kind of same thing, because this can get ear piercing if it's too, crazy. I know this is a long video. Wait, let's just see. Maybe just a tiny bit louder. What is this hidden at? Wait, let's just see what this is hidden at. And we're basically done. Let's just double check things to see if we, basically EQ'd everything. We don't like to overmix stuff, so I see a couple of blank spaces there, and that's okay. We got this. Well, I usually leave these impacts. Leave the impacts. Looks like we got everything. So that's something we don't need. Okay, so remember to save. Next is mastering. So I'm no mastering engineer. I know a little bit of mastering, but mastering's it's pretty darn hard. Usually people like fight over this stuff, but that's not what we're gonna do today. We just want to get our track done. You know what I mean? I think everybody has a similar sort of goal in mind. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to what is it again? Oh yeah, waiting for RDO. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this thing just go crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna turn this down. It may get loud. Just warning you. I know it just seems like I use the settings on here, but I kind of don't like to use the settings that it gives. I just use it as a guidance for things. So I'm just going to go like this. Maybe not too much of this. I don't see a use for this kind of thing in your master. For imaging, I usually will take the imaging out and I'll do it manually. The maximizer, I'll just kind of go like this because we want it at 0 dB, not -1. So essentially the maximizer is just doing the opposite of the compressor. So it's maximizing your track essentially. So you could use any, plain old maximizer or like to get this. So I usually like to do that, and essentially basically all that this track did was just add on a little bit of EQ, dynamic EQ, and maximized it. So you could literally do it all on your own. I just use this as a template basically. And you can also use like a match EQ. I like using a match EQ. So here, I'll show you how this works. I believe Logic does have a match EQ. So if you go here, I can't remember where it is. Match EQ right here. So I'm just gonna go to my SoundCloud. Actually, I think I have one of my no. So I'm gonna go right here. So I'm gonna go to my profile here. I'm gonna get one of my own tracks here. So I'm trying to get something that I produced before, or something that's similar in a sense. So let's see. So I like this track that I produced. So I'm just gonna essentially just actually wait. Let's just see what else I got. I might just go with this one. Let's just go with this one. Just because I have access to it, I can actually where is it? Edit? Is it an edit? Oh yeah, I can download the file. I mean, I could have just went to the original file. Actually, you know what? I'll just do that. Actually, no, it's going to take a while for me to find it. Let's just download it. I got so many unfinished songs that it's insane. So this is just the last thing. It's nothing too crazy. Essentially what a match EQ does is just, it's going to form this song, it's going to EQ it to this song essentially, and you're matching it, and it's not taking the whole thing away, but it's kind of trying to emulate what that song is. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, you'll see it when I start to put it together. So I'm just gonna Go like that. And essentially, the other thing I think we need to remember is that I don't usually match EQ on the same mastering thing. So we're just going to go like this, right? Take these away, right? Match EQ. Oh, vintage. Right? Match EQ right here. So we're just going to go like this, right? Custom target. So we're just going to solo this, and we're going to go to the loudest part of my song, okay? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to capture that. So. Okay. And then what else we're going to do is we're going to just essentially just mute this and then play this. Right. And see, essentially, is that it took the first one, it took the second one. As you can see, I kind of got like a similar style in a sense. So. And so we got that down now. And let's just see how it sounds. And I know it says we're clipping, but as long as it's not distorting, it's already. So, yeah, we just finished the whole song. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let's just give it like a quick run through. We'll just start from the second half. So. Saw you across the room. Wanted to know what was good. Smells like mistakes and perfume. And just like that, my heart went boom. Oh, you're so amazing, you make me feel right. The temperature's rising, take me for a ride. Oh, it's so amazing, we got the chemistry. Regular highs when you give me ecstasy, So yeah, I totally forgot. Hopefully it wasn't distorting while I was mixing there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had some fun. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, I may put this on my YouTube channel just so you can go and listen to it and jam to it. But yeah, this was just some basic stuff, some basic mixing, basic, what I do. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I hope you had learned something. Peace out.